afternoon. Today we're going to talk about the propaganda poster that can be seen on the screen. And this is about the perspective of the state in favor of it. In it, everything is peace and love, and it shows that the state is the best thing that could exist. In order to reach this conclusion, different elements will be analyzed, such as the choice of colors, the elements and symbols that were used, also the type of font of the writing, and the meaning of the message. First of all, when talking about the poster in general, its background shows peace because it has a light orange and red color, which transmits attraction to the viewer, showing enthusiasm, happiness, attraction, creativity, and also determination. In this background, you can see some ways that communicate, and this can mean the trust that it can be had with the state. This message also communicates or it's communicated through images and symbols such as the different hands, the heart, and the eyes. As for the image of the hands, they are all united and are directed to the heart, which means affection and affection towards someone. And the eye symbolizes Big Brother because he can watch you. And also this also like in a global view, this means that everyone can have affection towards Big Brother, and when they are next to him, there will appear an enormous affection and feeling for him. Finally, as for the message that is there, the font is friendly and draws the attention of the viewer who is intrigued to know what it says. That is how the message is. Trust Big Brother, together we will have a better Oceania. This means that if you approach to Big Brother and accept his status in the state, then you will have a better quality of life and a safe and a successful life. For this reason, when observing this propaganda poster, it will develop conviction and also an feeling, an affection feeling for the in the viewer, and also they want that this perception will be that the state is the best, and they will be safe, and you will be safe with it, and thanks to the we can analyze this to the different elements that were previously analyzed. Also, it should be emphasized that the state in 1984 book was not as it was shown in the propaganda, since it was a totalitarian state, a place where it is in charge and the state is in charge and they are the ones who are always right. You must submit to what they say, but in the propaganda, obviously, the viewer will have other perspective. Thank you very much.
The social issue shown in this piece of propaganda is the violation of individual identity, as in the book, the government aims to unify all of its citizens' values and thoughts according to the party's obtuse doctrine. And to do so, and to keep their population as ignorant and as malleable as possible, the government opts for tactics such as a constant threat, as the use of simplified language, as worship of a single almighty figure for everybody, and the idea that the slavery that they are subject to, better known as Ingsoc, in general is better than any kind of freedom they could have in the outside world. This idea is conveyed by propaganda elements such as text, image, and color, taking into account the context in which the slogan was set in the book, and through image, making reference to specific aspects of the ill-treated Oceanian state. To begin with the images. The image shows an individual illustrative of the Oceanian citizens mouthing Ingsoc principles whilst they think about freedom and independence. In the speech bubbles, there are classic party symbols and principles such as the use of newspeak, the infamous Big Brother poster that is a constant threat, and moral judgment to the citizens as they are being constantly reminded that their every move is being tracked, and also fist in chains, which represents the idea that freedom is slavery, implying that slavery is better than autonomy and freedom. The person's mind, however, contains classic symbols of liberty. The hands breaking a chain represent freedom from slavery, in this case, slavery to the party. The eagle represents freedom and strength. This animal soars higher than any other bird, therefore, it bestows freedom and courage to look ahead. The speaker or the megaphone is used to project or to magnify one's voice, therefore, in this propaganda, it demonstrates that the resistance wants their voices to be heard loud enough for the party to understand that they are sick of the oppression. The fist signifies the unity, strength, and resistance that people against the party must have in order to have a successful revolution. Lastly, the girl represents freedom and alleviation. All of these images simplify what the resistance wants, which is to bring down the party, to undermine and sabotage the party's way of life, and to be free from the slavery to it. Now the text. The text is a quote said by Julia in chapter 7 in part 1, in a moment in which she was discussing with Winston what the possible outcome of their plotting against the party could be. They talked about how they would possibly be torn apart and how they would be tortured to confess their contrarian actions. However, by Julia having spoken these specific words, she implied that the party could never fully win, as they could make you repeat their doctrine, but they could never change you as a person because they could not possibly change your raw belief and thought. This particular line is also a trace of the author's ideology, libertarian democratic socialism. Orwell showed a lot of fear of possibly being under ruthless ruling of an oligarchy like Oceanus, which is why through this piece he warns people about the dangers of said ruling and advised them to rebel against any kind of oppression. Julia's line is Orwell's thinking, and his authorial choices work in a way that said thinking would be communicated through the book. The use of the word anything twice and once in all capitals in the original text emphasizes that the idea that nothing the government taught you could change you to the core. This repetition is a fundamental element of the poster, as well as it gives the intended audience the assurance that the government can only go so far and that their own minds are stronger than some doctrine. So this motivating tone promotes the idea that everyone's individual identity is kept to a certain point and that it is just a matter of defending it in order to be able to someday embrace it freely and live as distinctive individuals, one from the other. So the message engages hope, which aims to motivate citizens to rise up and fight for the right to individuality. Lastly, the colors. The colors in the propaganda each represent something specific that conveys the perspective of the resistance. For example, the use of red connotes power, energy, revolution, and anarchy, which instigates the feeling of rebellion in the people that are against the state, making them feel important in making a change in their social issues. This essentially means that the citizens who see the poster might feel motivated to take action against the oppressive government, driven by the passion of being able to embrace their own natural way of thought. The black, secondly, connotes emptiness and depression, which relates to the social issue that the propaganda aims to portray, which is the neglect of identity. Why? Because Oceanian citizens were viewed as empty tabula rasa beings that survived for the benefit of the party and whose minds could be altered to fit the common standard, without considering their original beliefs. It is as if the government were producing many of the same individuals in large batches, making all of their citizens live in an enslavement chain. White, on the other hand, connotes perfection, simplicity, and purity. It also symbolizes a new beginning or a fresh start. Therefore, in the propaganda, as the text is in white, it represents the desire of the resistance to have a new society in freedom and purity from all corruption. Thank you.